Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, I've got an Attitude Era favorite, draws. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I am making a custom of draws. And there's a couple different figures, or not figures, a couple different attires that I thought about doing for him. But really, the most iconic thing that sticks out in my mind is his long pajama shorts and his long hair. And the long-haired head scan I was able to get from one of his Jakks Classic Superstars figures. There's also some Bone Crunchers figures, but those are a little more cartoony. And then the Bone Cruncher head that... I don't know if there's more, but the one that I've seen is like his mohawk look, which he had a lot of different looks, but really when I think of draws, this is the figure that I think of. So what I decided to do was get some decals, just like some wallpaper of some plaid, like pajama pant colored look. And what I decided to do was just print off a bunch of big squares of that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to put it on the Top Pick Cena legs that we have here. And really, the whole thing is Top Pick Cena. And then I'm going to swap on the head. Going to change the feet out to give him a little bit different look instead of just the sneakers. He did typically wear like higher boots, but I want the long shorts. So it was either trade off to have long shorts and the shoes or have short shorts with the boots. So this is what I decided to go with. Again, in my head, this is just what I think of, and it looks more like the Classic Superstars figure as opposed to like his actual real life self, but I'm okay with that. Like I said, I've grown up with Jakks Classic Superstars. This has always been like the most nostalgic part of my action figure collecting was those Classic Superstars years, so that's kind of what I'm going for. And really today is just applying a bunch of decals. So not going to waste any more time talking. Let's get to it. So first thing we have to do obviously is get all the parts swapped around, and not too much to do here. I'm going to swap on the black shoes, and then I'm going to do like black boots just to give it a little bit different of a look for draws. And then obviously we've got a ton of decals, so what I'm going to do is take these decals that are just the plain pattern, and I'm just going to cut them so they fit a little better, cover up big spaces, and then once I'm like all done, I'll just take little pieces, fill in where I need to, and then some painting will be done. So I'll paint a little bit with like some gray towards the end, and like cover up any like weird spots I don't want to put decals. I don't want to have to put decals on every single piece, and especially like the parts that articulate and the knee joints, like you can't put decals in there. It's just not going to work. It's going to mess them up. And it's the other important thing with the decals, with as big of an area as I'm covering, is that I need to be patient, and I need to use decal softener, and then I'm going to come in with my hair dryer, get it to like kind of melt on the legs a little bit better. And then that should prevent too much like damage done to the decals. So one thing, like at the very end, you'll see there, like if there's ridges, a lot of those times like the decal will get rubbed off and it'll look white, and more often than not, like that's gonna bother me. But the way Draws wore his like pajama pants or shorts, whatever, and just like his clothes in general, like they were always kind of like ripped up and like tattered. So for this custom specifically, it's not gonna really bother me. So nonetheless, I'm gonna do the best job I can. I'm not like trying to make it look beat up and crappy. I want it to look good. So gonna get all these decals on here. Again, it's just a matter of getting everything cut, placing everything so that we're not like wasting space. Just trying to be efficient while also making sure it looks pretty good. And there's no way I was gonna paint like this, just painting this whole pattern with all the lines, just line after line. I wasn't gonna do it, so this is my next best option. And for the most part, what I'm seeing already, like going through this, I'm happy with. So So I am going to start off, I'm going to put some black in those joints, and then I came back and put some gray over it, and I want it to be very light. So just enough. I'm not going to be moving this around and articulating it a lot, so just enough to like cover up that spot so that when you do bend the knees a little bit, it just doesn't look like the bright blue. And then lastly, we've got to put on the tattoo decals, and these I mean, these were going to be real easy. They're clear. They're just going to go on. It's a matter of just like placing the tattoos where they need to be. And for the most part, it's hard to mess these up. Obviously, they're like separate, so I want to make sure they're symmetric. And then these rib ones, I did want to make sure that I placed them. I didn't want to play. They're small, so I placed them over or above that joint right there. They probably could move down a little bit more, like accuracy wise, but again, just sometimes you make tiny sacrifices just for the better of the cup. So there we are. To finish things up is our draws, and you can see here, like I was talking about, got a couple of those ridges, and just like I said, not the end of the world. It kind of works for this. And then I did want to have some comparison shots here, so we're going to have draws with some of his Attitude Era, fellow Attitude Era members. We've got Val Venus from the collection video earlier this week. We've got Al Snow. And of course we have Kai and Tai. And I had to put these guys together. They didn't do an angle together. But I've been watching the old Sunday Night Heat episodes. And the first few episodes, draws and Kai and Tai are heavily featured and talked about, which is just so weird. Like, Heat was such a different show when it started, but it's been cool to go back and watch. So that is going to wrap things up for today's Work in Progress Wednesday, and I do take requests on episodes. I have different custom figures that I have ready, that I have like on my to-do list, but if there's stuff you guys want to see, I will do it. Coming up soon here, I'm going to do a Will Ospreay. I've wanted to do a Will Ospreay for a while. Just haven't really had a chance to do it. I had to wait on a custom head. So I have all the parts I need now. That will be coming up soon. And I also take commissions. So if you guys are looking for a custom figure of your own, you can reach out. I love doing commissions for people. I've done a few here lately. Outside of that, though, the norm. Please continue, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.